seo chuoinnig gra 5 an álaige an ihe sin. Patrick Kelly in fear of láthig mar lehasí láir an ihe sin haréanaí heile beidir agus gach seans go na hat slata ag fear bhailen cholig im líana de Corcaig. Seolta isteach orda ge siúd. Ní liiste gach duine achas ma hánam duine Goulding an so dorn caite ge Goulding leis anna Corcaig ar chláir a scór.
Aontoch an scór an ceann sin, anna chin plí, trastan na chúl an tam sin, áitir a Daniel Goulding.
Brogan. Fihim le Ger Brennan. Is tá Diarmaid Connolly, is tí go rimmen le cearnó a gach níl éon chaid scaoite isteach an róga fóilbeag. McMenamin. Fósa có. Feinach, McMenamin ar deire hir a scoile fé agus bhfuil inspruch aimse, tug a dain. Anna feinter fad bíidir Feinach ach mar a hánig an oscailt hapa idir an deis.
Ort scóir sin, dúirt mé hanach a brenín an fear seo chosú le Desi fearlach Desi sása le chean mar sin gan daut, gus cumad sé lábhar an léir an tamar.
Sa Tranona. Ishton Wilson i get Bastic. 40, Michael Darren McCauley. Stefan Sogadi Brogan agus tá Dumford Gallagher Shields agus deis ar chul ge Quinn. Neadar go hálaige ge Massey Quinn and son. Í obair le deireadh aige ach an Carnlough Trahoige a tugadh de Michael Shields and son bhí sé go hódach.
Nílach an céin cluiche amháin ná aimsí blachí a chúil agus ba sin a gcuine muoineachán agus a rís spandar an seo agus go mórhhar Bernard Brogan náit nach ra sé Santach leis an léróid seo trastan de Park Michael Shields an aice leis trasagaí Tomás Quinn agus is seach sa léon dan.
Kerrigan, Ray Carey. Kieran Sheen, flachten sagus Kush came des letriv. Takish Takani Gitog, Bikak Mech Painted so the Horka go Aero on Vertian to get.
Cé go bhfuil sé chúil dé ag aimse blachlí atá méid céin a scór difriúil an gáfar nó hé fiche chúlín so cé bhfuil Corcaí néil siad ag gairí lá an méid sin chúil an aimsí tá siad annach rion ó scór nach chúil ag an ála.
Sheehan. Dianta go get Kevin Nolan, dianta go dúla ge Nolan. Ní sin captain Brian Cullen. Fintan Gould á ghaire sin. McMenamin. Roher mar dianta ge Michael Darren McCauley chun slíoch ma de McMenamin son anna immertannig dicht ge McCauley son chun is bás oscailt.
Ja, well, imrinn sé chisfáil ag an agus be.
Conor Nish, Clíhánach leis, Pierce O'Neill. Seans gur féinte agus an taction diant an bouta so I get fear áhada.
Brenner seo mar chluithar mar thuústa cluithe suas agus síos na parcó an gáfar na rís an sin Pierce O'Neill husbáin sé loidrach agus a Lewis River sin is tóca chu an trastan an tam seo an gáfar na
chuisiíocht anna dhéasa go buchlí bhleclí Michael Darren McCauley anna rathí agus é tuileannach leis seansar féinte igen Bernard Parke. Bernard Brogan chun slachtach ar chósaí é sin dianta ge Brogan. Darren McCauley austalchan cíneach ní gona inan sin cinna catbéidir an deire.
Ja, no, Garth agus seo fáibetá go beidir nach bhfuil sé có maisin ó scór an cúil bhí sé ggéir an dearna úsad a rinne sé go hanmhachan an pás a chuir siar go Bernard Brogan an tam sin. 5 a gal nach chunar nuair a bhí sin a rinne í an sin brenne sé go sé beag anna choras ag dul í an tam sin nach fó sin an ná léir a bhúcan san air.
Ceanna le buite go i Lord a chuirtan san basta ganis. Me get fiechend, KV Ray, Conley Puntamach, Dianta go get Conley leis getó tomór te dúr na cóilíige anna chláir go dtí seo go blachlí.
Ó nimmert ceithre imróí de blachlí a rééis scór an haimsú an sin Diarmaid Connolly an Dennis Jane trastan na park a cos cléithar an trasna is tócha go bhfuil an ceistan a faoi Diarmaid Connolly agus an clégan agus sin a háir an lás a cáilú daile le sin.
Is Goulding i daile eile sin bhírig ó an slóide gnóchachtaí. Get Paul Flynn, a bra oscailt agus a ríist. Céimena. Paddy Kelly. Stachad ó Goulding, ceann óntaach buite san air. I get Goulding an a féintear fad. Cháceann buite san air aige agus seo fear atá go mór istigh leis féin.
Well, mar táid de gléir faoi Bernard Brogan ar an taobh an Park Brenner sin ar Daniel Goulding suas a scamal síos leis an léród is go maithe go cábhfuil nach chúil ar an chos cléithar an trasna an scóiríontocht 3 cín fáite ag Daniel.
Ian Changano. Alan O'Connor. Pierce O'Neill. Tá Jamie O'Sullivan goffachan cín chachún fearmhail an aspig. Socríte héan a fainter fad. Agus sin fainter chanig misnach ar I bheróg.
Ja, sin arás ar fad ó Jamie O'Sullivan suas na parka. Ní bachor déhín tusaí ach cosantóir teach suas na parka. Mura bhfuil sé géirí difriach nó chun difriach díanamh. Agus sin arúna Jamie O'Sullivan an tam sin. Dog sé ar Tomás Quinty here.
Ray Carey and son here. Ach tá sér sean a bhór a thuirt Pierce O'Neill and son Tranona. Fintan Golden is citóig ach tá deasóig leis aige. Agus níchan seasamh a bháin atá an choisian aige.
Well, Tá an tócha le tusa Corky. Tá séisiar acu suas an Chile win an scór na imsú. An tam seo sé Fintan Gould. Beidir imreoir nach bhfuil an tel an méid sin tel feice.
Chóthach agus tá an dardan sa líamach a hénig go bhcha agus chluthe últach Pellegrini seo stachaní brogan ach amach le síns. Traban si docht má tá brogan ón. Would she get Tony Fallon Levans, not Carol Shantz, Oten Versa?
Yeah, me or Michael she is a tam shin, we show score Berna Brogan, Boucher Lero, Beidir Grub Yogani, Songs of Raymond Chin or Berna Brogan, near few Branish in the post, just casting Shagos currently har on track.
Shach, Hotapicus Atanyov.
Yeah, Keshma.
Patrick Kelly, Socreen Chehenig. Anord. Well, Harris and Trastan, Capazon. Slúid a gnúcar tí chuir fór éilige ach an chiad féinte tanán a gin múntear bunscoil. Ge McCauley agus pas cosisiil láireach ní McManaman níos tá ruúirta pratige ó Diarmuid Connolly, Tomás Quinn a óscailténig ón fachtige Quinn, buteach leis an asóig ge Quinn agus tá an bratbána gáardach a stig. Pino strám lecha ar a besta chuige mór fád I Casán.
Agus Blackley go agus sin an rud a táid a glóra an tamar fad a fel géilech. Loidircht agus cruach.
So Donach O'Connor agus é sin go tapig an chiicsairge nó líir agus tá a réist O'Neill laistig seachúne Goulding rathíúntaach an teachtar I glíthe ar an múling ach an Bótasan scuit amach ó fad le Paddy Kelly agus bhfuil sé sin treis an spruchchaimseú tága dain ard faointe ríiste Kelly.
Sin arás ó Paddy Kelly. Luam mar hana go bhfuil 5 ag Ger Brennan le Paddy Kelly. Tá sé haspáinte glicas an sin an tamar fad an lurag an lérod nuair atá nó nach bhfuil an lérod le tá sé fós ag bogá an lurag an lérod ó ríis.
Parke tá cóir leis a chur John Miscle agus tá a fort seinte an Sotranona agus níl cumarmh a néchar so begur chanar cúnan ahrú eile dhéanamh agus an áíre fiochan de mísin ní mór an taí scoitir fadar fuidir bhfuil sin na cífar sna chluí críomh a háláinach ní agan san go gurinn se le tainmh an tlua agus peinte maile ige McManaman an san binin tríú ceann ó nimmirtige an cearú ceann ige McManaman tanóna.
Stocha scóiríonnta go Kevin McManaman a stocha ba Paddy Kelly go mórhhar de Corky ar buile tus cúplaúir an sin bhí seansa go bhéidir an
Cool gandát to get Tomás Quinn, Bernard Brogan leis le gá faointe, Batúna ligas de Corcaig agus a níocha siad go daire Sean McManaman tá Brogan a géileh le chaidir. An chuige pointe go McManaman ach neadam ag Brogan ra hásta leis. Cinnig ceart goman. Connolly a dhéchant leis le heachta riom na Corcaíoch. Bechtastig chun súlaigh meadar McManaman, Bernard Brogan leis a blahíl timpeall san na stig. Tomás Quinn cuachta go háling ar fad le Quinn cóil agus peinte leis aige.
Anna bhathó Tomás Quinn an sin Blackley.
So fear an haníma tuis an farce hágant agus a ríiste teachtar imrise Tá McCauley, Pierce O'Neill, nach Glanda, steachant agad I Barry Cahill agus Cahill leis an desóig anna féitar fad a fadansan ag Barry Cahill all-star na bliana cháimhín sa seacht.
Yeah, far a bhí a gibbert Lord na Park de Blackley a go tí an cléir seo agus a spáinse go bhfuil sé achlí chun teachsús na Parker mar sin. Anna pass ó Michael Darragh McCauley dan sé an ad ceart chun an líor de hort agus Haran trastan ó Barry Cahill.
So chéad a féintas a chéige Blackley an son sna nuam de dúnach a chéad nuam a dúnach den giad leis sin agus fágan sé go bhfuil siad an uachtar an tá leis an gól a daimseigh Massey Quindóid an son sa seachta nuam a gluthe ach anna chláir fad a fad. Afrin beag achran beidir le Brahanson idir Shields agus a charéilechas iad a dolisteach. Well, tá scatar ceartta stigan son. Nada cadas a dascar son. Ach tá siáin Oh, Ian, a veteran Sundersteig. Mickey Whelan and Laura Nain and Comac Ian. Anach Lahe behind the Vin. The video bashing the bra er and the Muirts here dashing Oscalte. Oh, Count the park. Save she master to half hour again there. And Heidi Kassan went the Saul for Sun. Force again, Nolan. I guess Hell Rowan of Hasha Tourt Heinig. I guess Cadrever score. And Sonny got fair kill Mohad in the Croquig.
Ja, wel Jeta Tugrog am Yorkshire nor Fadle Mola Lirodi agus New Yorkshire Kelmar Shinnerisha on a score of Kevin Nolan. Craig Fain, Trace Chaxus na Parker v Paddy Hassan, Strachas, a Comache Cleggan of the Shoshay Haran Traston, Ian Tucken score.
So Tusma against the Black League, Satarna Lasha, Michael Jared McCauley, Michael Shields and Ish, Ross and Son Bernard Broganach, Shane Kirkuya Chavouan. Chunachar Nis Lubin to get broken a Hursi Shuxmana Capachtina. Lee come a bit nach end Zorodish in the Black League.
Yeah, Vies Conation in team Lat, I mean, Talim Roriele, Gaimshu scoring it, and Scapanese Fiarno Veg.
Quicking the score as a Haley get Black League in Ishachleha. Short to Jack Fad. Oh, and a Hawaii Fad to get Conley and Son. Achtian to Gama get Kerry the Horkig. Arvin beg de VR Conley en maar naar Hoorling ze wie Berne moer creëren gemaakt nu Vedlish dolle slechtste Berne. Wordt sterk tapping, vacht get broken shots to goal. Oh, wachel. En hij gaat gemaakt.
Ian Tucken cool and Shane Reese Tomas Quinn Aaron Lira Toshik Sauce to Galore and Bugga and Lira the Bugga Gatapi on Tarmer Fad. The shock and Shin, Michael Shields, Beja knock Rushek to New Lesh and Lira, Anna Rasper and Shin O'Byrne Brogan, the shock Salinta, and Nero Shancer Big, Ken O'Halloran Sachul.
Ord Vacha, Kaikisa hin. Jimmy Connolly, and here, Jer Brennan. Schmachatog and E. Connolly, Agus and Shin Stewart of the Halling and Jim Kuriga shoot.
5 atá Corky and Ish Nachwell Mora Nachwell and Bean Cho have tracked the shock because different Mora Yen of
their lady O'Sullivan, Mary Minodiach Jamie O'Sullivan, Violin Aspect, Arish to a master Dassa, Kieran Sheen, Balor Paintach, Bootach another cool, Sheen and Ish, Poetic in the Kito, Gagaston, Bratbon, or Ordach Stig, score of it, Tastal Godot, and here down the Costatarnala.
Yeah.
Sand, Pearson Neil and Roher, Shachon O'Neill and Ish, Pointani Asavoil, Top. Lahan speder Hooliga.
Yeah, should have really Yenisha fear Wahan Tamer Fadak Chacht could tapi shin to she Annie Yakrish in a Markle, Conea Kurher and Traston, Bejagra
in the Black League and so. Shasta Hovadale Gould, Nubel Ficher Lynch, Town Gudain Fain. Sheehan, Squeal Chefe, Vadamach, Agus Well and Sprukaip, Tower Reach and Tarnakan Sheehan to Tarnala.
Shinner our father Kieran Sheehan, a stoker Keshta Tam Fail, the Black League, Paul Brogan, who is the Parker, Ruher Kalcha and Lear Agus Ryan's Dini, Order Chockton Parker against Starcher Shin.
Idun Darling on the Valley on the Bark, Ficher Lynch, the Cork Gachnil, and Crut and the Tossega Cork Gavisi, Hiedlach, reached Pierce O'Neill and Satursha Vachul, sure Alta. Painter, Ach, Visha Cartiga better cool, I'm sure.
Yeah, Jata Turager and different either na Fornes Stoko score on cool and Shin Pierce O'Neill and Shaw these Mona Lahan so have cool agus Haran Traston and Tom Shin Corky Fosa Clay Shaw Kainach Williter Gimmer Comash in Sadara Lahan Shaw Tashit Fosa Clay agus then a Tusse Ta Aku have got chance Aku Gamaishi in on score now I'm sure so to Jesus and Chosin Ordan Ruddy is Kaha Blackley a foul of Matashi the Gira Crave no one to mock
Gortagus either the hair fall no Gani the hair fall. Jer Brennan, Traston the Park and Marvel Massey Quinn, Kevin McManaman, Meher Roher agus Noel O'Leary, Jedic Nacht have a holder, Jedic Marga McManaman agus top prime time, Sheheleshiga. Noel O'Leary, which Dahageshu, agus Vadamach on goal, Achta prime to Wachel. I'm Chega, Noel O'Leary, because it's Mahon and Painter.
Yeah, score Mahon, Noel O'Leary and Shin. He don't go for an East Fair, not Kirky, Vader, Kerry, fresh, and will a non score. Now, I'm sure Truck a Cowie.
From the Black League and County came out. So, Behessaga, Kirkig.
Yeah, because it's even a foul, Shin of either a Yenova and Law Shin freshen.
Shakari Donahoe Connor and so. Chance again, Marco Hogan, agus Paintani as a vola leis get Hogan son. Cúpla ceann tappaí ge Cork agus níl de le fós.
No, Doris é sin, I mean, Donach O'Connor os cór cool, tá sé annach rín mar sin dhéanamh. Kick tapí an sin, droch foul ó Kevin Nolan chun an chance in a cruthú. Paul Brogan beag an in maulig teach amach, Donach O'Connor har an trasan an sin, an céad ceann ón immerta bhfuil daimse go beidir gúil sé sin chun sprag a beag a hort don an immorí é lorg níos mó leis an líród.
Díras a caite náfillig e Blackley, seoltas de a ríist O'Connor nis a haspáinténig. Chéile Cork Pint an a bhráilige O'Connor leis an neasóig an tosa Coman ní leanna cháfeinte bháil.
Céco sí.
Again, tarna duine, steach a láirslí an so, seansan is ge gúil beidrach ferrar le gáin tahí beid na beise de gáníocht ge túrt fe feinte, óna le héit sin nach beise ge Kelly, mar jainse le hans. Steach a John Choil, Patrick Kelly Pint a glóteile de Cork a gesiúd, chiricín as a chéile is a an lasar sa bhracha bháil.
Rose o Paddy Kelly, 5 atá Blackley a nis níl imróí anna chuid marcáilta. An bailach an imrín Blackley atá an imróí tíobh hir an líradar tarma fad, so má tatú ag blathir duine ag an eile dujab a dhéanamh tá 5 agad. Tá sí
Dhéar na himna gunni chéirí drálí sa chéad chluthas raham léana, agus dhéanamh an gnúla scór na déanacha ach an imirt inis har a bheith fáinacha go. Michael Shields, Stechan sa, Kieran Sheehan leistigach sé O'Connor a ghain an líróid. Cwrdd siar again, tagad I fiachlinn chance ag siúdar, loich a dhéanamh do hénig. Tá sé dianta ge fear Valley Rovers a bhachail, tá sé ar chóharach.
Doras é seo hana níor a aon imní ar churcaí, bhíad ar sásta galór.
Seachaniuh. Seachaniuh a churchan céin ar éist. Búid isteach ag curtha ar fóraí le gem gúil, steach go dtí Sheehan. Paul Brogan a dhéchant leis. An dubh chun na gealaige Sheehan ar seans ar féinte. An a Corcaí chunachan céin go Kieran Sheehan agus taithí na bliana se caite an nachta inise có.
A raus ar fad ó Corcaí, gach seans ag Blackley an bearna méadú nuair a bhéidir sé nó seachúlaí chun tosa. Ceann tapí an seo.
Ceann a bhadí sa héráidí ar fóraíl. Seo ceann anna dheacan ar fad. Agus tá sí mé ar hebh na láimh diise rí. Chrog get Blackley, tá sí putte well. Gas gar sí putte nasige Michael Darren McCauley. Gal maltóid ar sin agus gach seans go bhfuil seans Blackley a ritted sa go daid féin. Don tarna bide sa chéile siad Corcaí choirín na strathe agus daoine ceapná bech an tíim fuair a cán tá díomá Carter Pat Gilrain sa sár haspáint a spéidir ar feadh leichéad neamd go Blackley ach catú creúidir de Corcaig stoiméidir chanébre chuidir chanébre agus an fehinneom a dernachas an viidir ar ausar.
Read on Ferna Bar. Agus tásúla going go me corn is bó sam gíir taptis dráhála going níos déníos a bblianach. Nuair na himar agus bhí sár le a héin tranú na nniuh tá séisna níos le Garróid Macdonacha.
Níos tá Brendan Murphy Joe Alliance le gradam leich na himar a bhrunna Jamie O'Sullivan.
Thanks very much.
Jamie, well done. How tough was that?
Very tough. Great intensity through the whole match, I suppose. You know, we knew the Dubs would bring that intensity and work rate. We just tried to match it and up with a small bit, and luckily it worked, especially in the second half.
Yeah, what about the first half? Because there was a few injuries. Fintan Gould went off, John Miskell, Paul Kerrigan. How much did the plan have to change at half-time?
I don't know if it'll change that much. You know, we've a lot of A versus B matches, so all the lads in the panel know what they're doing when they come in. They just slot in, you know. They do the same job, might be a different person, but everyone brings something to the panel, so I don't know, we kept on going and gladly it came through.
Yeah, and what was it that changed so in the second half? Because I think you scored something like 11 points compared to the 2 that Dublin scored in the last half hour.
I'm not sure. I suppose our forwards up to a notch or two in the work rate, and you know, I think we turned our backs over once or twice, and once we did that, we managed to get a few scores, and we managed to get the right people on the ball who can spray the passes, and the scores came in.
Yeah,
I knew they'd come though, so.
You're confident. Does that confidence come from winning an All-Ireland? Would Cork have done this 12 months ago?
I'd like to think I suppose we did, but I'd like to think the lads would, you know. I don't know, it's just the savage intensity in training, and it just showed through there again at the end, like, so delighted really.
Well, Jamie, well done and congratulations. What did you make of that performance?
Sure, listen, it was a very tough performance. We didn't expect anything different, and you know, I said before the game to go down to the wire, and that's just the way it did. You know, probably a little bit of experience stole it for us at the end of the day.
Yeah. At half time, what was it you said to the players? Now, you were a goal down, but there was an awful lot of changes in relation to personnel.
Yeah, but look, I suppose that's the strength of the panel, and you've got to be prepared for these type of injuries, and I think both sides suffered that way today, just to settle down a bit. But, unfortunately, I'd like to say that it was taken on board, but, we found ourselves 7 or 8 points down after that, which was disappointing. But, I always felt we had a chance. First half, we created a lot of scores, maybe didn't finish, and, I think once we found our composure, we were getting those scores towards the end of the second half.
Yeah, and a lot of the older players, we say, stood up. Donogh O'Connor came into it an awful lot in the second half.
Yeah, and look, I suppose Donogh was quite by his own standards in the first half, but then, I felt at the same time any ball that was played into him, he was capable of winning. We didn't get good ball into him, but, in the final quarter there, we got a good ball around the place, and guys kicked some very good scores.
What about Dublin? What did you make of them?
Look, I suppose a final is a final, and, I suppose many people said Dublin needed it more than we did. We never took that on board at all. Cork, we're fairly skin tight in terms of national titles, so we weren't going to leave this go easily. We had this bit of experience. Dublin, to be fair to them, came out of the blocks, again in the second half, pushed on, probably lost 1 or 2 key players, upset the balance, and, that happened to us as well, but we had to let a little bit more of experience to get us over the line.
Congratulations today, well done.
Thanks very much.
Carcalor, well, Conor Coonahan and son, agus é Hara Vesas, the Tom Kinta, Lenachid Ibra, and Sotran, and you've been scored there, nach Marshin, Corca, Coolleen.
Maybe it's the first final they've been in quite a while, and maybe there are some mitigating circumstances in that respect. But their decision making late on in the game, when the game was there to be won, was atrocious, and that'll worry them.
They did a lot of things right today. Now let's give them credit for that. But there were a few turning points, Martin, that changed the complexion of the game.
Yeah, very much so. I think early on, you have to credit them with their early scores. Some of their early goals were wonderful. You just watch this one here again, lovely piece of ball going through the hand. Dublin succeeded very well in there's a very good point, I think, by Kevin McManaman, who got on the ball quite often. Again, Bernard Brogan's influence there. Beautiful pass to Mossy Quinn. That's a difficult score actually to execute because he's so close to the goalkeeper. But they were so confident during that time, and Brogan's finish there was clinical and emphatic. Dublin were wonderful at that stage, but then disaster happened, and a good team should be able to compensate for the loss of a player of that calibre, but that didn't. It just didn't occur.
It didn't occur. They were like Jekyll and Hyde, actually. When Brogan was on the field, he was a fulcrum of everything that was good. He was showing for the ball. He was making scores. And if you look at most of the scores Dublin have got in the National League, he was the one there, flicking it on, being available, or giving it. As soon as he went off, they lost focus totally.
Reality of it was Cork were 8 points down at one stage, and to make a comeback was a big thing. That drive for the line they made in the end was impressive.
5 minutes into
good day's football at Croke Park today, but there was the half-time incident that happened in this match, Martin, that may have implications for 1 or 2 players.
This was a moment of madness. This wasn't in keeping with the tenor of the game at all. Players are coming off here, a little bit of verbals, all right. Michael Shield and Diarmuid Connolly having a couple of words with one another. Then I think the cornerback is Philip McMahon comes in, and all of a sudden I think they forgot they're in the GA stadium. It's more like the National Stadium actually, but they start throwing punches, and I'm sure there were the implications for those.
It's a shame.
There were punches thrown.
They were. It's a shame for those guys, because it was a fantastic occasion, and I'm sure the CCCC will look at it, and I suppose they'll take whatever appropriate action is there. But it's a shame it spoiled